Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Dudes Who Bet Daily. Magic filling in this morning, and you had to have known that was going to happen because it's 9:04 instead of 9 a.m. So whenever it's late, you know Aaron's not driving the bus. But happy you're here. Speaking of Aaron, if you missed the news, Aaron and his lovely wife are on their way to Las Vegas for a much deserved weekend getaway. They're going to have a great time out there. They're going to hang out with Mike Somich. I mean, it's really hard to have a bad time in Vegas hanging out with Mr. Vegas himself, Mike Somich. So they're off having a great time. Aaron may try to, he's crazy. He may try to do this show from Vegas Saturday and Sunday. Hopefully he doesn't. He might have to Sunday though, because I'm not usually here, but we'll see what we can do. I'm here. First of all, thank you for joining me. If you were watching Thursday Night Football, we talked about the game on yesterday's show, and Aaron and I both said, I don't want to watch this game. This doesn't seem like a fun game. Nothing about it was exciting. I thought, you know what? Give me the Raiders quarterback over 204.5 passing yards. If you missed what happened, I missed what happened. Shoddy had to tell me. Apparently the Raiders went up 63-0, and then the Chargers made a comeback. Ridiculous game. Still happy I didn't watch it. I just looked at the score and went, I don't know. I mean, what, they scored 21 points, the Raiders did, in each of the first three quarters. That's just crazy. So yeah, anyways, we're here. It's gonna be a shorter show because, you know, just a couple of few horse races to talk about. No best bet from Papa Dude, but I've got a best bet in horse racing. Aaron's got a best bet, and of course, you know, it is a big day here because it's Springboard Mile Day. So happy Springboard Mile Day to everybody. I know Shoddy is gonna be down there. The king of Remington Park himself, Pedlo. I don't know if you're gonna be down there or not, but he's got a horse named after him debuting today, which I think is at, yeah, there you go, Fairgrounds Race 2, Court High. Fairgrounds Race 2. Good job, Pedlo. I like that. That was he's been saying for a week that the horse was named after him, and he finally drops the name there. So very good. That is not my best bet. It's not in that race, but it might be. Pedlo, tell you what, Pedlo, since you're watching, let us know honestly if you think the horse could make some noise, or maybe needs it needs a couple of races in. So let us know there. But yeah, it's nice to be on an Interject show as opposed to watching Blues fans boo Kalleward. Hey, listen, you guys got the win last night, right? I was half paying attention. I was watching the Red Wings game. Yeah, 4-2 over the Senators. Now, did the Senators fire their coach? Because that was the thing Aaron and I were talking about. Aaron's going to go see the Ottawa Senators play the Vegas Golden Knights Sunday in Vegas. And we were talking about Saturday or Sunday. And we were talking about whether or not they would have a new head coach. DJ Smith. He's still there. All right, we'll see what happens. I know also, by the way, this is the hockey talk, and I swear we'll get to horse racing. Daniel Alfredson, one of the greatest possibly the greatest Ottawa Senator in franchise history. He was behind the bench when they did their Sweden trip. The Red Wings were on that one. Toronto was on that one. Alfredson, being Swedish, was behind the bench helping them coach. I'd love to see him come back. He had such a high IQ. I'd love to see him come back in the NHL as a coach someday and see what he can do. Get behind the bench. So maybe if Ottawa makes a move, maybe Alfredson, if not now, gets added into it. But hey, the Blues got the win. Aaron and I were both happy about that first. All right, here we go. Fairgrounds Race 2, the word on Court High from the guy he was named after. I'd probably let it run first. Works are not consistent, but it's a Motown filly, and working at 5 furlongs decent. The other horses in the race are bad too, so bet with your heart only. All right, well, all our hearts are with Pedlo's horse, Court High, Fairgrounds Race 2. Stable him up. Stable that horse in your, stable her. Now we know it's a filly. Stable her up into your, there you go. Boom. Throwing a show bet, Shoddy says. Out of bounds 68. Boom. There you go. Joined. Got it. Love to see it there. All right, let's get into the best, or no, not the best bets. The race of the day. We got 3 races we'll talk about. Of course, race of the day, Remington Park. Race 10. It is the Remington Springboard Mile. We had 9 entries in here for 2-year-olds going a mile on the dirt, 2 turns at Remington Park. And this is the Kentucky Derby prep race, so these horses are all going to be looking for some early Kentucky Derby points here. And I actually saw the word from Shoddy right before we got started. Brad Cox horses, sounds like they're all going to be scratching. And yeah, I would assume if they're scratching and first post is until 5 Central, that Pratt probably knew, just don't bother coming out here to just take the day off. So that's okay. Neither of those horses I think were going to be on my ticket today. But what about you? Did you like, I know he had Fidget, Gidget's somebody completely different. He had Fidget, the one horse, and the 3 Gettysburg Address. Don't Google that, by the way. Right now, the favorite is going to still be, I think it's going to be the 8 Out of the Conqueror. And let me pull this tab up here so you can look at something that's not just my ugly muck here. There we go. Switch to this tab. There we go. All right, here we go. Gettysburg Address and Fidget were the 2. Thank you, Shoddy. They're going to be scratching out of this race. But As far as this race goes, still exciting to see what the 8 out of the Conqueror is going to do. He's the 5-2 favorite, probably going to be a little even shorter than that, though. Gettysburg and Fidget 6-1, 8-1. They're not going to. I don't think their scratch is going to affect the odds too much. You do have Glengarry, who looks like the speed, and that's who Shoddy likes here to win the race as well. The 5-horse Iowa bred, undefeated and multiple stakes winner. Got Luis Saez riding. My concern, and I would love to see Glengarry do it because, the Iowa bred connection, the fact that they took an Iowa bred to Keeneland and whomped all the 2-year-olds in the stakes race, that was pretty cool. But when it comes to the Springboard Mile, I think there have been plenty of years recently where speed horses, if there's a few of them in there, it turns into a mess. Real big problem. By the way, Nick Seevers says all Cox horses are out at Remington Park tonight. I wonder if there's more to that or not. Somebody do some research. I'm going to keep hosting the show. But as far as the Springboard Mile goes here, like I said, Glengarry is going to go to the lead. Gettysburg Address was a horse you thought was going to be forwardly placed as well because he set the pace in the street sense and kind of folded. So that's going to open things up for Glengarry. So it does make him a lot more interesting. At 7-2, he's the third choice on the morning line. Otto the Conqueror, Dennis thinks that Cox scratched the horses because Otto might be a beast. This horse has won 2 straight, including a 7-furlong allowance at Churchill by 4 lengths. But he also, according to Timeform, projects to be the 4th fastest horse in the field. And he's never actually passed a horse and won. So I'm a little concerned about Otto at such a short price. I do like Raging Torrent, and this is a horse that has been able to set off a little bit. I don't think he can win, but I think he would play Glengarry on top. Maybe go Raging Torrent underneath. That'd be how I handle it. A horse that Raging Torrent for Doug O'Neill comes in Frisu, a nice jockey in California, is only jockey aboard this horse. He's going to show up here as well. As far as the chat goes, Shoddy says she likes Glengarry with Rhino Runner underneath. Shoddy going with the 7-horse Rhino Runner, 20-1 with Stuart Elliott. Former Diodoro horse now transfers over to this Sean Williams barn. Sean Williams hasn't had a starter this year, but it's interesting that he shows up right with this horse. Diodoro owns. So you know what this tells me? Diodoro owns trained the last 2 races in the race at Remington Park. This tells me Diodoro got in trouble, so he had to hand the reins over to an assistant. I don't think there might be not much of an issue there. Yeah, Glengarry. I always think of Glengarry going Ross with that horse. So yeah, there we go. What do you think about this race? It's interesting. I don't think we have any serious Kentucky Derby horses come out of this. If it is, it's Otto the Conqueror, but I'm a little concerned about what will happen there. Let's move on. All right, so that's that race. We'll go do Aaron's best bet next because he's going to Los Al. Pull this back down. Aaron's best bet today is going to go to Los Al. It's race 4 on the card. Let me pull up it's a lot harder to do this show. Aaron does this show solo all the time and makes it look so seamless. Aaron's best bet, Los Al, daytime, race 4, number 6, Lonesome Stew. Now, this horse is the even money favorite. He's going to go off at 1-5 probably, like my best bet did yesterday. But hey, my best bet at Penn National won yesterday at 1-5. So that's, that's okay. Lonesome Stew, he's been... last time out, he missed by a nose in a starter allowance race going a mile at Del Mar, and now he cuts back, same starter allowance level, much worse horses, much less talented horses anyway, and they're going 6.5 furlongs. He's got the speed to be close early. It's Mark Glatt training with Juan Hernandez riding. Watch out for the 2 possibly. Habeas, Diego Herrera is a really great jockey at Los Al. This horse 2 back, he rode to a maiden claiming win at the 20K level. That's the bottom level in California. 5.5 furlongs. This horse has got speed in a 6.5 furlongs. If this race was 5.5, I think that the 2 would be really dangerous. I think this horse about right off the turn, maybe at the 8th hole, is going to just spit the bit and Lonesome Stew will eat him up. So I agree with Aaron. Even money favorite. Aaron didn't tell me what he thinks the odds are going to be, but they'll probably be pretty low. And I know Aaron thought that too. So, but that's okay. That is also, by the way, his best bet, the power play of the day on the website. So Aaron's best bet for any horse racing anywhere, it is this one. So if you didn't know about that, by the way, go check out racingdudes.com. I'll pull it up real quick and I can show you guys what I'm talking about. And you can, if you just show you a quick little feature on the website. So here we go, racingdudes.com on the screen, right underneath the homepage, power play of the day right there. And this is here every single day. Lonesome Stew, narrow loser, last time out the Del Mar level. Yeah, should be good to his liking. And also, by the way, we're always very transparent with what we do at racingdudes.com as far as the picks go. You see right here, Aaron tells you how everything has been going for the power play of the day and even the last few years. So all good things here on the website. But that is Aaron's best bet. It's going to be Lonesome Stew. Staley fired. We'll talk about that in a second. All right, cool. We'll come back to that in a second, fellow. Good news there. And yes, Somich is doing Oakland Rockets because they sell. He hates Oakland, but they sell. So it works out that way. All right, best bet for me. I'm going back to Penn National, baby. Listen, I haven't gotten it wrong yet. We'll see if we. Hopefully, I didn't just jinx myself. I'm gonna go with the number 5, Keeping It Country in race 3 at Penn National. Now, full disclosure, my actual best bet was Fairgrounds race 3, horse number 3, and the horse scratched about 10 minutes before, 10, 15 minutes before we were gonna go live here. So I'm gonna use that as the excuse for why I was late because I was trying to find a new best bet. This was my backup spot, and the odds are much better here. The horse is 5-2 on the morning line. And without any scratches, you also have a 3-1 second choice and a 7-2 third choice in there. So I'm hoping Keeping It Country can keep it at least even money and not be 1-5. But this horse, if you look back at the last 3 races, 3 back at Penn National in the slop, 6 furlongs, 5K claimers, but won by 7.5 lengths. Just absolutely destroyed the field. Next start was in the Kim Gracie barn, 6,500 claimers, almost won. That was on fast ground. Now we're back, now we're over in the Tim Chrysler barn. Chappie is going to ride for the second straight start. Last time out at this level, 5.5 furlongs. Almost got the job done. Turnpike Bob was just couldn't quite reel him in, but was gaining on him in the stretch. And I really like that because now we're going 6 furlongs. So I think that extra half furlong might have made the difference that day. It definitely, this horse should take a step forward. Second time out for the barn. Second time with Chappie riding. And if you look at the field, he's fast, but he doesn't need the lead. So I think that the 7, Uncle Dare, who was a even money favorite in that race that Keeping It Country almost won, I think he's going to be forwardly placed and probably spit the bit a little bit. Kim Gracie, who actually used to train the 5, now is taking over the 7. So again, she's got good stats. So I think that horse is going to take some money. And then the 6, Houghton Shuffle for Bernie Houghton. And then I don't know if it's his wife, but I'm sure a relative. The owner breeder is Melissa Houghton. This horse broke the maiden on debut at the 25K claimer level by 4 3/4 lengths. But now first-time winners were straight Pennsylvania bred allowance. And this horse has got speed, and second start out, I think, is probably going to be in trouble. So if the 7 and the 6, the 8 possibly kind of gun each other out, I think the 5 sits a perfect spot and capitalizes it. So that is my best bet at Penn National. Really trying hard to... I should just take a Penn National. Aaron mentioned yesterday he stopped doing sports best bets a while ago because he's a horse racing guy first and foremost. And hey, what happened? Suddenly his picks got a lot more consistently cashing. So I followed suit with that, and if things go well at Penn National, I might just become a Penn National guy. Anyways, that's my best bet for today. Magic's falling in love with it. I'm like Dennis with Turfway Park, except the field sizes are usually really small and there's not nearly as crazy of what goes on. Yeah, it's tradition for your best bet to scratch right before dudes who bet daily. Fellow says, great name. Yeah, I like that. Keeping It Country is a great one. Let's pull up, tell you what, I'm going to pull up the best bets and then we can talk about the news that Pedlo just posted. There we go. Best bets. Aaron, Los Al, Daytime, race 4, number 6, Lonesome Stew. Magic, Penn National, race 3, number 5, Keeping It Country. Papa Dude, still no pick. He is picking on all the kids that he is substitutes teaching for. So, got that going for. All right. Pedlo says, Merry Christmas to you guys. I hope you all get laid this week. Well, the week's only got 2 more days left in it. Can I hold on to that for next week? Because probably a little bit more likely. Just, playing the odds and everything there. Where is it? Pedlo. Where did you go? Staley got fired. There it is. How did this guy keep his job as long as he did? I mean, I don't watch football, pay attention to it as nearly as religiously as a lot of you, and I know Aaron and Mike and Jared do, but even I knew, like, this guy Brandon Staley should not have, like, and even after that loss, they lost 62-21? The most 63-21, the most points given up in franchise history. And the Chargers have had some really terrible teams in the past. They had a 42-0 lead at halftime over the Chargers. The Raiders did. And yet, here we go. What happened? Like, yeah, it makes no sense he's been there this long. And then afterwards, I saw a quote that if someone said, do you think after that you should still be coach? And he said, yeah. Yeah. But then I said, what did you do wrong? He said, everything. I didn't prepare us. Didn't get us ready for it. And he goes, games like that happen. Dude, I'm telling you, as a Lions fan, no. The Lions would fire somebody for that shit. Don't do that. Yeah, one of the worst owners in professional sports. Well, definitely one of the cheapest. I agree. Remember back in the LaDainian Tomlinson era? They had when Marty Schottenheimer, was that before LT? When Marty Schottenheimer was coaching the Chargers, they were awesome. But the owner just never wanted to pay. Definitely didn't want to pay for coaches. The stadium, if you've ever been to that football stadium, was an absolute dump. The city of San Diego, the owner was so cheap, the city of San Diego doesn't care about the Chargers. They didn't when they were there. And that's a huge problem if you're a major city like San Diego and all the citizens go, we just don't want to go there. And a big reason, the owner never put money in the stadium. He kept trying to do what owners do and hold the city for ransom and force them to build a stadium. And the city, God bless San Diego, they said, shove it up your ass. We don't want you. We don't want to pay. All our tax money should go to actually helping the citizens and not building you some giant Taj Mahal shithole like the one that you're currently in. So that's why they packed up and moved to LA. But again, Chargers fans, they don't care. By the way, Chargers fans, few and far between. LA doesn't give a shit about them. LA knows that they wanted the Raiders, and LA knows they have the Rams because of the Super Bowl. I keep forgetting that they're in LA and I live here. Yeah. Thank you, Car Ramrod. The entire city. I promise you, it doesn't matter. They could, unless they got to the Super Bowl and won it, and even then, I don't know how many. There'd just be a lot of fair weather, like, oh, I'm a Chargers fan kind of people. Yeah, they just don't exist out here. So anyway, there we go. That was a fun little rant, and somehow we made this for 16 minutes, and yeah, I can't believe we made it. So thank you so much. Shotty's on her way to Oklahoma City. She's going to Remington Park. Pedlo's going to be there. Let them know if you're bit. They are so much fun. Met Shotty and Pedlo. I mean, I know Shotty for a while, but met both of them at the Breeders' Cup. They're just such wonderful, fun people. If you're going to Remington Park, please seek them out. Go find them. Have a lot of fun. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful weekend. If you're not coming back to us, I will be here tomorrow. Possibly Aaron. Most likely Papa Dude for another edition of Dudes Who Bet Daily. Before we go, I did see, where is it? Rob had San Jose Sharks money line. Who are they playing? I'll pull this up real quick and see what I think about that. Sharks scores and matchups. The San Jose Sharks are at the Arizona Coyotes. Plus 152 I'm seeing right now on the San Jose Sharks. Well, at least you're getting plus money. I wouldn't bet that, but I also stopped betting hockey for a while because it just didn't go too well for me. Anyways, thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Car Ramrod. Thank you, Shotty, Pedlo, Dennis. Jason, it's good to see you come in here. Nick Seevers. I'm trying to make sure I don't miss anybody. Rob. If I missed you, I am so sorry, but I think I got everybody. Love each and every one of you. Thank you so much for joining me. Back tomorrow, 9 a.m. Pacific, 10 Central, noon Eastern for Dudes Who Bet Daily. Good luck betting the Springboard Mile. See you next time.
If you do not agree with this, you're cursed.